Hey y'all. This is DJ the Diva, and I'm coming at you with another video. This one is a little bit more personal. First of all, hey Divas and Divos. Hey, welcome back to my channel. Excuse me a minute here. Okay. Click that like and subscribe button and that notification button so every time I upload a video, you guys will be notified. All right. On that note, I couldn't possibly let this month go by without explaining a little bit about some of the things I have been through. All right, now let's get to it. How I found out I had breast cancer. First, let's start from the beginning. Like the end of 2016. I had terrible acid reflux. And so I went to a GI doctor about that, and he did a test. And the test came back I had cancer cells in my esophagus. So he had to do like a endoscopy to go down there and check to see what was going on. And I had esophageal cancer. So I had to do surgery every 6 weeks. And I had 5 surgeries for that. And they did what is called an ablation. And they burnt off these cancer cells until, I came back and it said I was free of cancer. So, okay. After that, I had a mole on the top of my head that, now this was in, let me say March of 2017. And the mole had changed so significantly. Right here in front, great big space. Actually, it wasn't a mole. Let me back up. It wasn't a mole. It was a scar that the doctor had left when my mother was giving birth to me from the fetoscope that they used to help extract the baby. It left like a gray mold that ended up looking like a brownish raised birthmark, if you will. Yeah, so it changed color, changed shape, and everything. So I went to the dermatologist. They did a test. Oh, it's probably not cancer. It just probably changed a little bit, They called me back in 2 days and said it was cancer. You have skin cancer. So not only did they take that, and when I say that was a large divot in my head, and it took 30-something stitches to close it. But they did a good job because you can't even really tell. My hair is growing back. They had gave me cortisone shots to make the hair grow back over the scar. It scars right in there. But, they kept checking it month after month. It was fine. That January, I had a mammogram. And the doctor was in a hurry. And they said, we'll let the technician look at it. It should be okay. Oh, you look fine. It looks just like the last one. And Um, Mind you, I had this bump underneath my arm, but slight boobage. Like I could feel down in and at the side. So it was like right here. I could feel it. Oh, it's probably just a cyst and you're not old enough and I'm saying, well, yeah, I'm old enough. Cancer runs in my family on both sides like wildfire. You know, I've had uh, cousins and things in their 20s lose their life because somebody told them that they weren't old enough to have a mammogram and get cancer, and they died in stage 4, 26, 28, you know, in their 30s and 40s. You don't have to be, you know, disease does not discriminate like people do. So they need to really stop that. And I've had men in my family, men and women with breast cancer. So don't think just because you're um, male or under 55 or whatever, under 50, that you can't get breast cancer because there's long and short graves in the cemetery of um, younger people who have died of breast cancer. And that being said, let me run through how I found out. So that was January. By the time um, September came, well, was it September? It was September. By the time September came, that bump was hurting me. But it felt like maybe one of those big sweat pimples you might get underneath your arm that just hasn't come to a head to the surface yet, so you could squeeze it, pop it, whatever. That's what it felt like at first, when it first started hurting. Now, you will come in contact with a lot of people that will tell you, oh, you're feeling pain? That's definitely not cancer. You don't feel pain when cancer. It's lies they tell. Okay? That's another myth. Um, Now, and since then, I've met a lot of women who say that was their first indication that they had cancer as they felt a pain. Um, so, in saying that, you know, I'm just saying, well, I had my mammogram in January, so I'm fine. You know, it's not due to the next January. I'll just wait till I go back. And I was taking my mother to a doctor's appointment near a hospital. And when I tell you, now at this point, that pain was waking me up in the middle of my sleep. It was hurting to move my arm a certain way, and um, took my mom to the business district for an appointment in Pittsburgh. And I got in the car and it hurt so bad. When I tell you it hurt so bad that I could not even go, I guess, to turn the steering wheel to turn. So she said, that's it. Go right to McGee, because we were just like a block or two away. Go right to McGee, go to the ER, and that's it, you know. So I said, they're not going to do anything. They're going to refer me to go get a mammogram or whatever. She said, whatever, just go. When I tell you I came in contact with this ER doctor, she was so nice, so gentle, so concerned. Her bedside manner put me at ease. Um, she came in. I told her what was going on. She had me get in a gown and said she'd be back. She felt it, and I seen the look on her face, and it scared me to death. So it was so painful that, tears just started flowing from my eyes as she was palpating it, as she was touching and examining. So, um, they gave me an x-ray. And then she had these four doctors come down from, I don't know whether they were the cancer part of the hospital, the oncology center. And they gave me an ultrasound. And then they went out in the hallway and talked. It wasn't 5 minutes. She came back and she wrote me this referral. Not only did she write me the referral, she called the Hillman Cancer Center, and had me scheduled in 3 days for a mammogram, a 3D mammogram, and an ultrasound. So in 3 days, I made that appointment. I went to that appointment because the doctor had made it for me. And they did all that, and we'll contact you in 3 days, but you're feeling pain, so it's most likely not cancer. Okay, so within 2 days, they're calling me. You have to come back. You have to get a biopsy. Okay, we seen a little something that looked iffy. Okay, well, but we're letting you know now. You're feeling pain, so it's probably just a cyst. Okay, so that put me at ease a little bit, but it was like waking me up in my sleep. I couldn't turn certain ways. When I would go to work, I couldn't hardly use that arm, and it just hurt. So, it even hurt to take a deep breath, just everything. So, um, get to the appointment for the biopsy. And they not only want to biopsy this right side where the bump actually is, they also want to do this side. Okay, while you're doing this, just go ahead and get it done. That was a very painful experience, because they had to go so deep, you know. They kept shooting me up, and, it wasn't quite getting numb, but they got it done. They said, we'll contact you in 3 days and let you know, your results. We'll just call you over the phone, or if you're okay, is it all right if we just send you something? We'll give you a phone call and then just send you like something in the mail that tells you your results. I said, fine, okay. So, again, they called me in 2 days. This test was supposed to take 3 to 7 days. No, it took 2 days. And I was at work where I wasn't supposed to have my phone on, but I put it on vibrate just in case they called me. And they called me, so I left out of work, out the front door, just so I could take my call. And actually, it was the back door. And I was standing there amongst a bunch of men that were taking a cigarette break. And I hear the words, "You have cancer." Because first she just wanted me to come in. And I said, don't do that to me. I want to know right now. I'll still come in, but I have to know something right now. And she said the words, "You have cancer. Cancer in your left breast, cancer cells in your right. We have a couple oncologists, but there's one that is really good that you can go to." And I said, well, can I come in today? She asked, I got off of work at 2, and she was like, can you be here at 2:30? Yes, I can. Work's gonna have to wait. So I left work an hour early and I went to my appointment. Um, it took all of what, half an hour for her to tell me everything, and she gave me paperwork, and this is information on what you have and what we call it and what can be done and what your next steps are. So while I was in the car getting, after valet had brought me my car, I directly on my way home, I got on the phone. I just put my phone on speaker and I got on the phone. I called that oncologist and she made me an appointment for a week. And I'm telling you, when you have that and you have to wait for appointments, even though that's not a long period at all, but your mind is in chaos. Uh, you don't know what to do. Your mind is racing. You feel like your chest is a ticking time bomb. I was scared to go to sleep. And then, the pain was intense. I was dreading waking up. I mean, I didn't know what to do. I just prayed. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. So I went to my appointment and they were correct. That was one of the best doctors I've ever had in my life. She was so personable. She gave me her office number, her nurse's number, her cell phone number, her home number, her email. I've never experienced a doctor like that. Her name was Jennifer Steinman, and she's in Monroeville, PA, and she was one of the best doctors I've ever encountered in my life. Um, she was very caring and personable, and you know, very very skilled. Um, so she gave me options. I could either have a lumpectomy or a double mastectomy and a immediate repair. Um, so based on my history, my family history, um, and my allergies and stuff to things, uh, we decided that it was best that I didn't do breast implants because of the way my allergies are, my body would probably reject anything foreign that they put in. So we knew we were going to use my own body tissues to create me breast. So um, she said, well, I have to get with the plastic surgeon. And this is the one we're going to use because he's the best in Pittsburgh. He does Pittsburgh. He does Hawaii. He travels and does it. He's so good they call him all over the country. So we're going to use him. And I got to get together with him because your surgery is going to be about 12 hours long. And that's the only surgery both of them's going to do, or patient they're going to see would only be me for the entire day. All right, cool. So I go see him, and by that time, it wasn't even 2 weeks. They called me and said, in 2 weeks, you're going to have your surgery. I mean, everything was happening. Bam, bam, bam. So what me and my oncologist decided upon was I had a double mastectomy with a Tram Reconstruction repair, which means they take your abdominal muscles, all the abdominal muscles that make up the six pack, and your tissue and your skin, and they It's almost like they do an autopsy on you. They cut me from side to side, and they had to take arteries and make them long and go up through my stomach, and connect them to what is now my breast tissue so they'd stay alive, so they'd get blood and oxygen and stuff. I had lymph nodes removed. They took so much I had to have a belly button reconstructed. Um, that was the most painful thing I've ever been through in my life. Nobody tells you of the pain. Um, I still go through things now. I don't have all my feeling back. All the nerves are working their way back. I have an artificial belly button. Um, there's a lot of things I cannot do. I don't have a lot of range of motion in my arms. I can't lift more than a grocery bag of groceries at a time, or I am in extreme pain where I can't do anything for days and days and days. Um, I experienced a lot of my hair falling out, eyebrows, eyelashes. Um, with mine, I experienced weight gain, um, lymphedema. I already have rheumatoid arthritis, so the lymphedema makes it 2 times worse. Um, if I get cold, um, I start to, my body starts to cramp all over. My hands will fold like a stack of cards into each other and cramp. My knuckles, because of my rheumatoid arthritis, on my middle finger, um, go the opposite direction of what they're going through now, what they're supposed to go, the direction they're supposed to go. Like on this finger, my knuckle goes this way. And when I'm going through the cramps, my whole knuckle that's in the middle will be at the side of my hand. Same thing on this hand. This is the worst, as you can see. I don't know if you can see a difference. Let's see close up. This I get more lymphedema in this arm because this is where they took the lymph nodes from underneath my arm. I have no lymph nodes on here, so they can't draw blood, they can't take my blood pressure. I can't do anything on this arm, which sucks because I am a very hard draw and it's hard to get blood from me. I get sharp pains in my back, down my back. I can't just sit up out of bed. I have to turn to my side and get up that way. Um, I have to worry about um, metastasized cancer coming back. It totally messed up all my hormones. Um, I'm not the same person at all. Um, a lot of times I feel like I don't even know myself anymore. Um, depression, depression, stress, it just comes with the territory. Insomnia, that's a part of it. Um, vitamin deficiency, big part of it. Um, just nerves, that's a part of it. Um, so yeah, like one day I might be happy as a lark, walking around here and everything, and all of a sudden I'm in tears. That's a part of it. And a lot of people say, and I believe it's true, that the recovery is longer and harder and more of a challenge. More of a challenge, I'll say that. The recovery is worse than the disease was. The treatment and recovery is worse than the disease was. I spent 5 days in the hospital. I had four um, four drains, two at the top, two down the bottom. Um, Extreme pain. When you get that tram, you can't walk straight up for weeks, like 8 to 10 weeks, if the doctor says you're healing right. That's if. Um, multiple doctor's appointments and specialists and tests and thank God for the support of my family. My mom had to treat me like I was a baby again. She had to come to my home. She had to cook for me, feed me, bathe me, wipe me, uh, collect the blood from my drains, and be my nurse and document all this and discard of all the blood. Um, I still have some drainage. I'll wake up in a puddle and stuff, a fluid or pus, or it's a part of it. Um, it's embarrassing. It stinks to me. Um, yeah, you do not feel yourself. You can't do what you used to do. Because even though your mind says, well, we'll do this, we'll do that, and then I'll take a rest, your body is like, no, sit your behind down. We're not doing that. Fatigue, extreme fatigue, anemia, um, your vision gets worse. Cancer messes up your teeth. I had to have 4 teeth pulled, 2 filled, and braces. Um, like I said, you lose your hair, of course, but thank you, Lord, I did not lose all my hair. I lost 48 locks. I have dreadlocks, or um, locks. I mainly call them locks, but I lost 48. Um, I'm tired, overly tired a lot of the times. I couldn't stay up some days if you paid me. I'll sit there and fall asleep, just fall asleep. Um, just that extreme tiredness. Uh, but in your mind, you're feeling like, I am extremely lazy. It's not laziness. You know, I can sleep a whole day if I don't watch. Um, it's just your body, the healing process, and you going through all the mental and emotional and physical pain and anguish, and I feel pain every single day. Um, Even though I try to make like I don't, you know, I don't like um, I don't like my body. It looks foreign to me now. And even though they use my own body parts to make me breast, the scars, I hate the scars. Hate them, hate them. They they bring on a sadness for me. And yes, I'm a survivor, I'm a thriver, but I don't feel like me. I don't look like me anymore. Um, I don't like being around people anymore. If I could come in my room, shut my door, turn off my lights and turn on my TV and stay there for about 5 years, I would do that, you know. But I have to make a conscious decision to do things, to go to work, to even cook a simple meal, to make myself eat. Sometimes I forget to eat because I'm so bogged down. And I know it's the hormones, and my whole body has changed. And I meant to tell you guys, during my surgery, I had complications. So my surgery ended up not being 12 hours, but 18 hours. And I had a lot of like blood clots and stuff. And I still have to wear surgical garments and surgical bras and stuff, specialty bras from a cancer center. And um, yeah, my breast feel pain a lot. My back feels pain a lot. I can't just sit up and move about. I have to take my time and be methodical with it. Turn on my side, put my feet over, push myself up. I don't have full range of motion. Um, and I'm used to being an active person. Um, since this, I have gained 50 pounds. You know, I just, it is what it is. So I've told you about my symptoms, how I found out, how I went through the steps of getting my doctors, the surgery, and part of the recovery. And I think that's enough for now. This is emotionally draining, and I just say thank God for the support of my family that I have, because I couldn't have did it without them. Um, I just want to tell you guys a lot of what people don't tell you. You know, um, they don't tell you you're not going to be able to wipe your own butt. They're not going to tell you that you're not going to be able to walk the distance across the hall to get to the toilet. Thank God I had a bedside commode. Thank God somebody told me get a recliner because you're going to live in it for the next couple months. You know, thank God my shower attachment came down, and I could like rinse, put